Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Red from the video game Transistor that I play on Nintendo Switch. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look at the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself. This is just for me and get us going. The reason I was laughing is when I started is because it just made me laugh the way I said, on Nintendo Switch. So it made me, oh, you know what? I want to draw her sword out this way, so I think I'm going to put her over here a little bit. So that's what positioning is for. That's what sketching is for, because it lets me decide where everything is going to be, and even like with her, yeah, that ought to work. That ought to work. Yeah, but because I want, boy, I already lost my eraser. Oh yeah, I dropped it last time. What happened to that? Uh-oh. Gonna have to find the old one. Alright. We're back. I'm just gonna pull out my old eraser and use that real quick. I got a newer one, and this is my old kneaded eraser, which is needed right now extremely more. Anyway, okay, so sorry, back to the quick sketch. But that's what sketching is for. It helps me with the placement and where I'm going to put everything and if I'm happy with it, that kind of thing. But I wanted the sword out this way, and I wanted to make sure I don't fall off the edge here. Actually, let me make sure. Okay. But yeah. So that's the importance of sketching and your placement. So anyway, so I play this on Switch, and what's funny is a lot of times I'll say I play it on Switch because that's what I got, you know. But I know these games are like on Steam and stuff like that, and you know, they get started at other places and that kind of thing. But again, I'm just kind of promoting. Well, look, this is not a sponsorship in any way. I'm not sponsored by a Switch or anything. Hey, but Switch, if you want to, I'm here, you know. I just, it's what I play. It's what I own, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, that it's what I use, and so that's what I'm trying to say is it's why I push it so much. It's why I always say it, because it's what I have, you know? So yeah, it's not a sponsorship. I'm not, I don't know why I feel like I need to explain things to you guys so much. All the time I'm explaining, aren't I? All the time. I just need to draw, old man. Draw. But yeah, the trick is, there's not a lot of pictures. I love this artist. So once I found out about the game, I looked into it and I followed the artist and that stuff, and her, what is her name? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put it in here. Right there. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I started following her, and she's amazing. She's an amazing artist. But a lot of the pictures that I found for Red, it was like concept art. And she is a concept artist, you know, so there's no like fully fleshed out, this is the outfit type kind of thing, you know. But she does have some really cool concepts, right? But there's no traditional laid out look of Red. So yeah. So I don't know. So this is my guess at Red, basically. But anyway, it's an amazing looking game, and it's one of those games that, again, I kind of found it on Switch by doing my cheap man games on sale, and so I found it on sale. I was like, ooh, what is this? Let me look into it. It looks intriguing, and man, was it worth it. I'm glad I got it. It's just again, I don't play a lot of first person shooting games, Call of Duty, Fortnite, stuff like that. I play them. I don't play them a lot. That's really what I'm trying to say. But I love side-scrolling games, anything that is involving puzzles and stuff like that. I just got one. What did I get? Is it Ellie? I can't remember. Man, it's a beautiful looking game. I haven't even got to play it yet. I just saw it on sale. I said purchase. I just bought that right away as soon as I saw it was on sale. Looked at it, and before I could even play it, I just bought it right away. Well, I mean, you kind of have to buy stuff before you can play them, right? But what I'm trying to say is I still haven't played it. I bought it, and I'll get around to playing it, I guess is what I'm saying. But anyway, a beautiful game will get me every single time. You make a beautiful game, and I'm in. I'll buy it. I'll play it. I'll draw it. I'll sing songs about it. I'll take it to the movies. I'll say, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up now. Ooh, okay. Wait, hang on. That didn't work out. That's what the sketch is for, is working stuff out, right? We're going to get the positioning right. There we go. That looks better. A lot of times I got to make sure that the eyes are close enough that it looks like a person, because there's only so many lines I put down, and I want to make sure that the ones I do put down will work in this position, especially when I'm doing a different position like this where she's kind of looking down a little bit. And so now I got to figure out how to get her hair to look right. And I think that's it. I think that line alone will help me get the look of the hair. But again, like I said, she's an awesome concept artist. But a lot of times with concept art, that's all it is. You just kind of come up with the look and the feel, you know. Like some of these, her little what is this collar like thing? These feathers and whatnot. Sometimes they're flying in the pictures that she's done. So they're not solid. They're not connected, and so it's like, well, why? How are they floating? You know. But again, that's the whole idea of concept art. You're capturing an idea. You're telling a story with an image. You're not making it accessible to, you know, model making and that kind of thing. So like if someone's going to make a model of it, they're not saying, well, I don't know all the details of this. This is just selling the story, basically, is what it is. That's the whole idea of concept art. You know, you're selling the story to try to further the idea, right? So anyway, so that being said, that means that sometimes you don't quite flesh out the entire thing. So you get some strange, you know, boy, I lost my tiny ruler. Of all the things right here on my desk, I lost my tiny ruler. Gotta use the big one. You lose, you're not worried about details, what I'm trying to say. And so that's not a problem for concept, but when you want to like model, you know, obviously it's like, well, that doesn't work, you know, you don't have the entire thing. But that's not what her drawings are about, you know. So let's see about this. So here's going to be the trick. the sword, because man, it is awesome. And I don't know what I'm going to color yet, because it's like it's like made of light, so to speak, like the grid that's in there. It's got this awesome circle, like this eye circle thing like this, maybe closer like this. It's got an awesome eye circle thing like that, and there are these lines coming off of it that are, ooh, I can see now that I'm way off. They're off the center line. There's like these grid lines coming off of it, but they're like color. You know, they're not a black edge. So now I have to determine, like, what am I going to do ink-wise versus leaving it for color, right? Because I would love to just leave it for color, but I also kind of want to give you guys stuff to draw, you know? I don't want to just stop halfway through and say, okay, bye, you know? Like, I want you guys to be able to draw something. And so, yeah, I've got to make that determination. Ooh, and that's floating too. Wow, there's a lot of cool stuff on here. There's some awesome cosplay of this character as well too, so go check that stuff out. I had a certain idea for the hand here, kind of a dynamic hand doing nothing. And what I mean by that is just going to be doing like this, but I'm kind of spreading the fingers out specifically like this to kind of make it dynamic and relaxed at the same time. Does that make sense? I mean, obviously no, but that's what I'm going for. So I'm kind of extending the pinky out a little bit more to exaggerate her elongated fingers, and not really elongated as much as just specifically beautifully unique, you know? Something like that. That ought to work. A little artsy, a little different, you know? Yeah. Okay. So sorry, that sketch took a lot longer than I expected, but you know, this one might be a little bit long because it's a cool character. So let me erase some of these sketch lines real quick, and then we will welcome everybody that skipped and get going. But again, this was such fun that I want to get it right. I want to make sure it looks good for you guys, and we get everything in there that we want. Okay, I may use a ruler for the sword, so you might want to go get one. Okay. All right, looks good to me. I say we welcome all the skippers and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than a fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. And if you want to see more video game characters, look up here in that playlist. If not, we're going to get started and jump right in. I'm going to draw the top of her eyes, the brow, not the brow, the eyelids, like this. And I've got her head tilted just a little bit, and I'm not really going to explain much because I explained it all during the sketch. So go back there if you want an explanation. I'm just going to jump in with the drawing. And then to give little dots for pupils, just like that, because these will bleed at this tiny of a size. So I'm just going to keep it real simple. Cut the eye in like that, cut it in there too. Now I want to give her a little bit of an eyelash, like that, but that's all I can really do, because again, it's going to bleed too much if I go too crazy. So I got to be careful how much I add there. See, like that? That was probably already too much. But I want to give her some nice eyelashes, right? Okay, so she's got kind of a downturned, like a angry brow kind of thing. So I'm going to do that for her eyes. and maybe a little bit too angry, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. She's determined, is what we're gonna say. For her hairline, I'm gonna go ahead and just add that in, just so we can start to give her some edges, I guess. Like, I'm trying to place a few things, and I want to make sure I've got the stop points is kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, so for her nose, I'm going to go ahead and draw a little bit of a bridge like this. We'll come down here for her nose, go up. Maybe we'll connect it like that, but that's all I want to do, because noses don't have hard edges until you start to turn, and then you can see a profile, right? So I don't really want to use a Sharpie for a lot of the facial features. Use her mouth, and I'll go ahead and draw her lips. Usually, if you draw lips, they look like lipstick, so she's got pretty lips, so I'll put it in like that. I'm going to draw her jaw. Obviously, her head is turned like this and down just a little bit, so I'm going to draw her chin like this and come up for her jaw. And as you see, I'm starting to thicken up some of my lines, because when I switch to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm trying to match what's about to happen. See, I know where it's going to go, so that's why I'm planning on that. If you're working with pencil, even if you're working with Sharpie, you don't have to do it this way. I'm just explaining to you why I'm drawing the way I draw. I mean, ultimately, it's how I draw, so you don't have to do it. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between, but I do want you to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. She's got a lot of curls in her hair, so I'm just kind of adding a few here like this. Again, defining my edges. That. And like I said, I was kind of playing around with where her hairline's going to be. That's kind of where I was going with this. So I think I'm going to put it back here like this. I'm drawing some lines to define a bit. And again, just for my own happiness, thickening up some of these edges. It also helps when I'm doing black and white stuff like this. It gives me a little bit of a different feel. Okay, let's draw the rest of her hair, and it's all kind of parted on the side over here and kind of flowing big, kind of over like this. And I don't want to draw all the hairlines. I do, don't get me wrong, I want to draw them. I shouldn't, because it's not black hair. And it's kind of like what I was talking about with the face. It's like, if it was black hair, sure. But because it's a different color, I want to leave color to play around with some of those lines. I want color to make it, you know, a feature, right? Whereas if I just draw a bunch of black lines, it won't look like pretty black hair anymore. You know, it's going to be a bunch of black lines. Okay, so I'm going to draw her feathers. And I was talking about this in the sketch. You want to know what I was talking about? Go back to the sketch. I'm not going to talk about it over and over again and bore everybody who's already listened to the conversation. So I'm going to draw her neckline, kind of like this. And I've already sketched it out, so that's why I know where it's going to go. And because it's made out of feathers, I'm kind of playing around with the edges like this. And I should probably be doing it with this Sharpie, but maybe I'll come back with some small details to add into it. But I wanted to do like a big black hard edge like this to make it stand out. And also explain to you that's why I was going thick with those, because of the way it looks. Okay. It almost looks like fire, you know? But again, that's one thing I'll repeat that I was talking about in the sketch, because I do want to talk about how awesome the artist is. Her concept art is just amazing, and that's the feel that we're going for here. The same fuzzy, furry, not fuzzy, quilled, feathered design that she came up with, where it's like it's connected, but it's not. You know, it's like some of the feathers are flying off, some are kind of in here, and I shouldn't even be drawing all of them really. I should just let color do a lot. But it's just so much fun just to kind of play around with her style. And even though I'm drawing it how I draw, I do want to kind of keep the whole feel that she brought to this design, because it's such a beautiful color, such a beautiful character, and the style is just amazing. That's what really drew my eye to this in the first place. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that because that's good. I'm going to go ahead and draw some of the neckline and stuff like that. So her neck's coming down here like this. We'll say you can see some of that what is it called? The neck muscle right there. And then we're going to say you can see, because it's open, right? Yeah, we'll say you can see her clavicle. Like that. And then her breasts. Let me see, how about, we'll just do one side like this, just to highlight that, yes, she has breasts. They're not gigantic and flowing over, but yeah, we'll say you can see some of the mass like that. Okay, so I've got this arm out holding the sword, this one's flowing out, so it's just, I was about to start drawing like this, it's just this arm out. So let's draw the shoulder here like this one's going to be over here like that, and let me see if I can find a good, let's see, her jacket is kind of covering a lot of her, so I'm going to just kind of bring it down like this. I'm going to say it's kind of flowing out like that. Okay, and so some of the trick to her is what I was talking about in the sketches. No, I already talked about it. I'm not going to bore everybody again. If you want to know what I think, go back there. I just like to talk. I'm not very good at it, but I like to talk. And I feel like I got to explain a lot of things. I don't know why. But that's her coat hanging down. Let's go ahead and draw this arm since we're over here. Her sleeve is going to come this way, and it's going to have like this gigantic, like, I want to say buckle, but not buckle, like a flared out cuff. That's the word I'm looking for. Going that way, coming back in, and it's got a bunch of buckles and things. Buckles, buttons. Man, I don't have words. I never do. I don't know why I'm saying it like, what a surprise, right? Okay, so this hand I've got, it's a little dynamic, but it's not. It's kind of doing one of these things, okay? So it's down, but it's kind of doing, you'll see. So I'm gonna draw her elbows in here, forearm to the wrist, like that. Elegant little wrist like this. Close that off where I didn't before. That too. And her hand, let's do this. Hand's gonna come down this way. Here's her thumb. Going down to her finger. Back of the hand. This is the index finger. Look like this. The middle finger and the ring finger are kind of together. That's just kind of the, like I said, the whole dynamic feel that I'm getting for it, that the other fingers are extended out a little bit, like the pinky is out further, just to give it a little extended feel. You know, I know it looks a little strange, but again, we're going for strange. We're going for cool. You know, this is a really fun game, and it's got a good look to it. So I don't mind that we're going a little crazier with the drawing that we're doing, because we're honoring the feel of the game's design. All right, so over here for this part of the jacket, I'm going to bring it down. Let's see, how about we bring it through, I'm trying to see what my sketch was like. How about we bring it down through here. Same thing, we're gonna kind of fly it out is what we're gonna do. Her arm, gonna come down this way. Gonna do that little bell looking cuff. Something like this, bring the arm back up into the body, back of the jacket, like this. And then connect it this way. That's gonna fly out a little bit more, but again, we're gonna come back to that. We're not quite there yet. Let's draw a little bit of the detail in the jacket. Like I want to draw some stretches and lines from where the cloth is being pushed. Because whenever it's cloth, I like adding extra little creases and folds just to show that it's flexible material. You know, you're getting some good movement out of it, basically. All right, for this arm, she's holding the sword, so same thing. We're just gonna draw the arm, forearm like this to the wrist, elbow to the wrist, and then the hand is kind of bent down. Now, the sword is coming this way, and I think I'm gonna use my ruler just to help out with some of the straight edges. So I'm gonna let's draw the thumb first, so I'll know where I am, and so I don't draw through it. Okay, so the handle, I'm gonna flow it this way, but she's holding it right at the edge. So we're just gonna go like this, maybe out that much, then it's gonna come up. The handle's gonna come out this way, and then a little bump, right? So I'm going to draw the other side to where the fingers are gonna be, like about like that. Now, that's not where the fingers are, but I don't want to draw through the fingers is what I'm trying to say. So I can connect it here, and then I can draw the fingers around. Now the fingers are around something, so it's not a fist, it's open a little bit, so the fingers are, and it's turned, so she's pretty much doing this. So the fingers are kind of like way down here. So all we're gonna do is draw a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, right? So like it looks like the pinky's longer, but that's because like this is closer and these are further away because of the angle that she's turning the sword, right? Okay, let me add like the little handle part over here. It's just slightly bigger, and I think, yeah, there's even a bigger handle. Okay, hang on. Now I gotta draw this a little thinner. Just real quick, just slightly, like this. I want it thinner than that. And then I can do the back edge. And that I'm just gonna do by hand. I'm not worried about how perfect that is, but I can connect that, right? Let me add a little bit of detail in the hand, just a touch, just a skosh. All right, just a little bit of detail there like that. That's it, that's all I wanna do. I don't wanna go too crazy there. Let's do some straight edges for the ruler. And I think, yeah, let's do it like this. Oh, you know what? If you don't have a ruler, go get it. We'll pause and wait for you. Press pause. And nice to see you back. All right, so let's get a ruler and draw a cross. And I did it like that here. If you want to see it on this side, I'll do it like that. I'm just gonna kind of guess at where it is and what's parallel. Something like that. You know? That looks longer, so I'm gonna come out this way a little bit more. That's about right. Because it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see. So I'm going to connect it to about, where's the center? About there. That looks about good. We'll go ahead. Since we're using it, we might as well. I was gonna do it. I was gonna eyeball it, but why not? Since we're here, let's go ahead and use it. Make it look right. Okay. Now, the edges. It's really cool. So let me try to get it as close as possible. Okay. So I'm gonna come in just a little bit because I want it to be right there. I don't want it to be at the very edge. And so I'm just going to come in and try to do it straight across, like according to what's parallel there. If it doesn't, no big deal. But now that I think about it, let's do it with the smaller Sharpie, because I was talking about this in the sketch that I want it to stand out like it's color more than it is a black edge. And I want it to stand out like that. I want it to look like that. So, same thing, about to the same place. And I say we just, well, let's do a couple more lines. Like this. Oops, that was too long. So I'm gonna have to extend that out a little bit. A couple more lines to draw the edges in here. And to draw more, but you'll see why in a second. I'm just gonna extend a few things out real quick, and I'm kind of eyeballing where the edges are. I was trying to get it perfectly parallel, but now, yeah, as long as we got a few straight lines, that's good, and we can guess the rest. Okay. All right. I'm even going to extend that by eyeballing. So the edges now, I'm going to close them off like this. And that one's supposed to be like that. So this piece is kind of floating. Then this one's supposed to come up like that. That's where I messed up, is that I should have gone further like that. So I'm going to do the same thing here and just extend it like that. Just eyeball it. That's all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. But this thing is made out of like light, so I kind of like that idea that it's not a solid black edge like this, right? Same thing with all the inside stuff. I kind of want to do that with color, because it's not a hard black edge like this. So let's just close off the rest of it. So I'm going to do a line like this, a line in the middle, another one here, and extend them up to about higher than where that's going to be, because this is going to come across and this is going to go across that. Extend it a little bit. So same thing, come out to about the same height, and if it's okay if it's not straight, look, mine's not, no big deal. Connect them, then go across here. And that's going to go about like this, so we're going to extend it just a little bit just to try to match. And I think that's good. See, we could have got that perfect, but I think it's good like that. I don't want to go too crazy with it. I think that's going to be good enough to define what it is. The rest I'm going to do with color. It'll stand out better that way. So let's finish up her body. So her costume, see her breasts are right here, and then there's like this little parallel line, or not a parallel line, a triangle. And there's some cool patterns in her breast design, but I kind of want to leave that with color. I'm telling you, there's some really cool color things going on here. So I'm going to draw her waist like this to the edge of her skirt, and the skirt is going to come down a little bit like that. And then there's a triangle pattern. Symbol. It's not a pattern. A pattern is multiple. This is just a one single image, right? So it's like, why would I call it a pattern? So again, I'm not going to mess with her breasts. I'm going to do that with color, but I am going to do some material bends like this, just to show that, yeah, there's a couple of creases in her material. Let me draw her skirt, and again, paying attention to the concept art, it's kind of this flowing, like almost like fire looking thing. So I'm going to do kind of like we did there, flame a few out, extend a few, you know. So here's her skirt coming down like this, right? And then we're going to do another piece flowing out like this. Again, like maybe it's fire. I don't know. Who knows? That's going underneath her jacket. And so that's why I didn't want to draw that line yet, because I knew that we're going to have some extended skirt pieces that are kind of flying like this. Right? So see, it's almost, again, it's like, I don't know if it's fire, I don't know what it is, but she did some really cool things. And I want to kind of emulate that, right? Okay, so for the extended jacket thing, I'm just gonna close it off like this. Same thing here, I'm just gonna kind of close it off like that. And that's it, that's all I wanna do, because anything else, I think it drapes a little bit more, but it's hard to tell with her concept art. Some I see it's draped, some it doesn't look like it's draped. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I think we got plenty. Yeah, I do see some. So maybe we'll do some back here. Maybe that would be cool. Let's try that. Okay, but let's finish her legs, and let me do a little bit of a little line work here, just to kind of, again, accent the coolness of this skirt, you know? And I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of playing around with some lines. There we go. Okay. So now we're pretty much just doing her legs, and we'll do the extension right there. So we're almost done. I know it's a long one, but we're almost done. So her leg's just going out this way. This one's bent. So this leg's flowing like this. We're gonna draw the leg coming in like this to the knee. There's the knee like that. The calf to the ankle. The ankle like that. And this leg is pretty much, you're looking at it straight on. So I'm just gonna draw it like this. Okay, very extended, very just out, you know. This one you'll see the side view. So this leg is flowing back like this, coming down this way to the knee. This one is kind of coming here. This is the back of the leg. Thigh, not the thigh, the calf, down to the heel. Foot's down. You see it like this. You can draw the heel up like this. Something like that, and let me just add some detail, and then we'll do like an extended something for the jacket. See, hers is like super flowy and strange and cool, and that's why it's like, well, I can't quite do that, but we'll do something, right? And then we're going to say that's her stockings, and it looks like a shoe built into, you know, you can see a shoe. I see a shoe line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Got this cool little detail on the shoe. Then we're gonna say that there's her, I guess, like the ankle type. Clean that up a little bit. Clean this up here. I didn't quite hit it right. Okay, that's good. So let's do the one last thing. We're gonna do just the extension of the flowy back, and hers is all kind of wispy, almost like crazy looking too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll do kind of like this, right? Kind of like that kind of back flowing thing. This one's going back here, and we'll say maybe it's going back like this. You can see it up here, flowing back down like that, right? So that one's just kind of flowing back that way. It just helps with the flow of it. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is red from Transistor.
So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.